How do you go about building that peer group? Like, how do you go about intentionally cultivating and growing those relationships such that you can serve them and they can serve you?
Yeah. A couple things I'd say here. First, I think it starts internally. Um, One of my favorite quotes is don't waste time chasing butterflies. Mend your garden and the butterflies will come. And what it means is that you start by changing internally. The energy that you actually have, that you're putting out into the world, will attract the right things towards you. Like, so if you want to cultivate incredible relationships, be an incredible friend to other people. If you are there for other people, they will be there for you. If you create value for others, you will receive value in return. So rather than thinking that these networking is all about take, turn it into being about give, give, give. Give to the world and you'll receive in return. Put the things out that you want to receive. So that's the first thing I would say. The second thing is, I think a lot, and I write this in the book, about this idea of placing yourself into value aligned rooms. Figure out what your core values are, the things that you really care about, and then place yourself into rooms that are self selecting for people that have those similar values. Delayed gratification is probably the single value that I hold most highly. People that embrace the idea of delayed gratification are people that I will like. I
Mhm.
can just guarantee it. And it doesn't matter whether they are like in, the roofing industry, which I know nothing about, or if they are in finance, which I know more about, or if they're a creator, which I know quite a bit about. It doesn't matter. If they are someone who understands that doing hard things now to create good things later is an important principle for life, I know I will like them. And so I can place myself into environments that self select for people that understand that. Gyms tend to be a great place for that. Like, fitness communities tend to be a great place for that. I've met some of my best friends, some of the people that have impacted me most deeply in my entire life through those communities as a result. And they might not have anything to do with the exact thing you're working on, but actually having these different perspectives and different lenses through which to view the problems you're facing ends up being even more beneficial in the long run.
And one of the things that you talk a lot about that I believe to be true is it seems as though you don't chase answers. You mostly are chasing curiosity and questions. And I believe, and it sounds like you do as well, that the power of your life is a direct correlation to the power of the questions you're asking yourself. How do you stay in question and curiosity mode in the chaos that is your life today, chasing, books and opportunities and speaking and wanting to be home with the family? Like, how do you remain curious and not end up in judgment?
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right that I think that the greatest journeys in life come not from finding the right answers, but from asking the right questions. And one of the things that I actually say in the book very directly is that this book will not give you the answers for your life. And that's a terrifying thing to say
Right.
in a self help book, right? It's a self improvement
Yeah.
book. It's crazy to say that. And I say it right in the intro. Um, but the point is that I don't have the answers for your life. You already have them within you. You just haven't asked the right questions yet. And so the whole purpose of the book is to help you ask those right questions, to help you come to your own answers, uncover the right answers for you. I think that all of that comes down to creating space in your life for that curiosity, for that questioning to exist. Most of us have no space in our life. We live in a world that is dominated by stimulus and response. So,
Mhm.
Viktor Frankl, the famous Holocaust survivor psychologist, has this phrasing where he says that our power exists in the space that we can create between stimulus and response, because in that space is our ability to choose our response. On a normal daily basis, think about how little space you have. You're getting tons and tons of stimulus. That's emails, that's requests, that's family things, that's everything, all the chaos. And then you're immediately responding. As soon as it comes in, you're shooting back the text, shooting back the email, responding to the family, whatever it is. There's no space to actually sit with questions. There's no space to pursue the curiosity. You might have a curiosity about something, but you don't have the space. Now, if you have a young kid, watch how they live. You have children. I
Yeah.
have a 2.5-year-old. It's everything is about space.
Yeah.
If he gets excited about some like animal that he sees in some book, he's just like obsessed with that and he's going down the rabbit hole on that because they have nothing but space. We need to find our own space in our life and create it. Little bits of space, little pockets in our daily life, whether it's the 5-minute break in between meetings to take a little walk and just be with your thoughts, whether it's the 15 minutes in the morning when you can just sit, during a run where you're just not listening to a podcast, you're just running with your own thoughts, or I have a process that I have in the book of a more regular, like monthly ritual around it. I call it a think day. Just creating space to actually just sit and think about the bigger questions. Allow yourself to be curious. But creating that space, I think, is the key to sitting with the questions, to really wrestling with them. And when you wrestle with the questions, you end up unlocking the right answers in your life.
And do you create space daily? Do you create space? I mean, I know you have the monthly practice, but how do you create space intentionally? Where do you do it?
I do it on a daily basis in little micro doses. None of us are going to be able to do maybe, and if so, I want to trade lives with you. But I think the micro space on a daily basis, and then more like macro space on a kind of monthly or quarterly basis, is a good way to do it. So micro space on a daily basis, the ways I would recommend would be find yourself 15 minutes early in the day. I would say just like part of your morning routine, if you can do it. For me, like I'll do my cold plunge in the morning. That's space for me. Like I just kind of sit with my thoughts. You go for a walk, get some morning sunlight, as they now know is really good for you, whatever that is. But don't make that productive. Don't like listen to an audiobook on 2x speed or a podcast. Sit, read the Bible if you're spiritual. Read some like text that is just bigger picture. Nothing that like feels productive. Just allow yourself to be. And then create little pockets throughout the day. Like, look, we have 30-minute back-to-back meetings. Make those meetings 25 minutes. Nothing ever happens in the first 5 minutes of a meeting. It's like you say stupid stuff about the weather and you're like, oh yeah, it's cold in the Northeast right now. Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's December in the Northeast. It's cold. We
Yeah.
don't need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Just make the meeting 25 minutes. You eliminate the banter and then you get 5 minutes back where you can just slow down. Actually, Microsoft did this really interesting study where they put EEGs on these people's heads and then had them go through a day of back-to-back meetings just straight through. And then they did a day where there were 5-minute breaks in between the meetings and they measured their brain activity. And what they found was back-to-back meetings, there was a stress buildup that was basically just linear across the entire day. The stress just kept building and building and building and building, and performance kept declining, like creative processing kept declining. When you took a 5-minute break, there was never a stress buildup throughout the entire day, and performance continued to actually be consistent throughout. So the 5-minute breaks are a tiny intervention that actually improves the quality of your outcomes in your overall life. So it's like a perfect example of the science supports this. Anecdotally, we know that you feel much better when you do it. So just go and do it.
Just go and do it.